Okay, quick. Did you know that Potawatomi is a Native American language and that within it lies a hidden clue as to how the city of Chicago got its name? What is it? Stick around to find out. Welcome to 5 things you didn't know about Potawatomi. Bojo Munuwaban, Potawatomi, or as you'd say in Potawatomi, Bodwe Wadmimwe. Who speaks it? Where does it come from? And is it beautiful? Yes. Yes, it is. Potawatomi is a central Algonquian language belonging to the Potawatomi people, a Native American tribe whose members reside mostly in, do you know where? The Great Lakes region of the United States and parts of Canada. Now, something very important to note about this language is that since most Potawatomi people have shifted to English for their everyday language needs, there are currently fewer than 5 native speakers across all of North America. Yeah. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, okay, if fewer than 5 people now speak it natively, why even learn about it?
Our language paints a picture of everything that you see or talk about. It's really descriptive. If you want to see how people thought and felt and viewed the world prior to what's happened in the Americas in the last 500 years, then you gotta use the language to know that.
Potawatomi is like a linguistic time capsule. The language is absolutely replete with cultural tidbits, historical nuggets, and invaluable insight as to how these people lived with, saw, and interacted with the world for centuries. So while the language is nearly lost, there are roughly 50,000 members of the Potawatomi tribe today, and the language preservation spirit is strong among them.
It struck hard with me when our fluent speaker Jim Thunder said, "We can't claim to be Potawatomi if we don't speak Potawatomi, and I don't want to let our ancestors down. We're hoping to keep this sound alive and, into the universe and to extend it into the future."
Well said. For now, friends, sit back, relax, and enjoy your front row ticket to the fascinating world that is Potawatomi language and culture. Without further ado, here are 5 things you didn't know about Potawatomi. Fun fact number 1, just as mitochondria are to a cell, verbs are the powerhouse of any Potawatomi sentence. For example, in Potawatomi, with just 1 verb, you can say this: he'll strike someone with such a force that he'll fall back and his teeth will tumble out. That's 17 words for the price of 1. So as you can see, verbs in Potawatomi can get very specific and very long. And not only can the verbs get quite specific and long, the conjugations are no joke. Some verbs can be conjugated, and this is true, over 100 different ways. Yeah, you heard that right, 100. That's almost as many takes as it took for me to properly say Bodwe Wadmimwe. Bodwe Wadmimwe. Fun fact number 2, location, location, location. In Potawatomi, being specific about things like location and distance is super important. It's actually kind of baked into the grammar. Like in English, we can get away with being vague about location, right? Like how many times has someone texted you saying, "Let's meet there," and you're like, wait, which there? Like you're there, my there, some other there. This confusion wouldn't happen in Potawatomi because the language generally requires you to use a little word particle that specifies whether the action's happening near you, the speaker, them, the listener, or in some other third location away from both of you. You also wouldn't typically say something as simple as "I saw their fire." You would specify the distance from which you saw it, saying something instead like "I saw it from far away" or "I saw it from close up." The main takeaway, when you're formulating sentences in Potawatomi, you always have to be asking yourself, where are things spatially in relation to me? Are they within reach? Are they out of sight? Are they out of reach but within sight? Because in Potawatomi, all of this matters when you're mapping out your words and structuring your sentences. Fun fact number 3, ditch the pitch. You know how in English we like to emphasize things by adding stress and changing our intonation? Yeah, Potawatomi doesn't do that. It likes to stay soft and steady, almost monotonic, but that doesn't mean that you can't emphasize things. You just do it differently, with emphasizer particles, or as I like to call them, quiet exclamation points. These emphasizers are little words or particles that get sprinkled into your sentences to add some emphasis. But here's the thing, they yield no change in your loudness, in your pitch, or in your intonation. For example, imagine that you want to say you are definitely going to be busy later tonight. You wouldn't say definitely. Instead, you just discreetly, ever so quietly, pop on the definitely emphasizer, ma, after the word busy. Quiet exclamation point. Shh. Fun fact number 4, in Potawatomi, time passes poetically. For example, if you want to ask someone their age, you don't ask, how old are you? You ask, how many winters have you lived? And when you talk about months, you're actually talking about moon cycles. For example, if someone wants to tell you when their birthday is, they're not going to say it's in May. They're going to say it happens as the budding moon hangs. Now, this next fact might just be my favorite. In contrast to how Western culture views time as linear, Potawatomi culture views time as cyclical. The Potawatomi people believe that they'll always see one another again, whether physically or spiritually. And this, my friends, is reflected in the language, because there's literally no phrase for goodbye. And fun fact number 5, speaking in Potawatomi is kind of like painting a picture. And by that I mean that Potawatomi is very descriptive. Let's play a little game and see if you can guess what each of these Potawatomi words means just by hearing their literal translations. First up, we have, which literally translates to the one who lays long ways. What do you think it means? If you said snake, you are right. Ding ding. Now, this one literally translates to light moving through a picture. What does it mean? TV or an iPad. The place where speaking is done. It means town hall, auditorium, or stage. Did you say mouth? Good guess, though. Oh, I love this one. This one literally translates to the structure where one physically challenges themselves. Gym. It's a gym. And the last one, my personal favorite, this one literally translates as new sound. Hint, it's a specific type of person defined by their characteristic age and gender. A teenage boy, because their voices change. It's like a new sound. Oh gosh, language is so interesting. Well, those were our 5 facts, but before we wrap up, how did Chicago get its name? Well, Potawatomi has the word Chicagosh and Chegak, both of which sound a lot like Chicago. What do they mean? Skunk and onions. And while we can't positively say whether Chicago got its name from the local skunk or onions, which grew in abundance there, most scholars agree that the name comes either directly from Potawatomi or another related Algonquian language. And now you know. Well, my friends, that is it for today's video of 5 things you didn't know about Potawatomi. If you are feeling inspired to learn some Potawatomi, check out the link that we have in the description for you. Like all the other endangered language courses available through Mango, the Potawatomi course is free and it always will be. And since the Potawatomi worldview says that you and I will see each other again in one form or another, I won't say goodbye. Instead, I'll say thanks. Miigwech.